Okay, this is video number 3. This will be about taking this antique pedal car down. Now, some of the things I'm going to show you on this is that I had to resort to using a grinder, and you can see this is where one of the pedal areas is. I took a grinder, ground most of the heads of the bolts off, and then took a punch and knocked them out. That's pretty much about the only way I could do. This is a full can of liquid wrench, and it's almost empty, that I had used to soak this thing down for a week or so. Now the pedal assembly, the bushings are out. Let me show it to you real quick. You can see the bushings right here are pretty much gone. These things are rather economical, so about 30 bucks for this little assembly right here, so this is not going to be bad. Over here you can see the chain is not in bad shape, so I'll be able just to clean it very well and just reuse it. Now the axle that came out right here has this end piece that goes right here. This one was rather easy to take off. It was 7/16 and it just came apart easily. Now there's a kind of a bushing, and it looks to be plastic. This thing was built in 64 or 65, and some of the things about this though is I had put it over this edge right here and hit it with a hammer like that to drive it down through, and that's what popped the bushing out of this section right here. It looks like this section right here is kind of welded in with rust. What I'm going to have to do is lightly cut that with an angle grinder until I can get that to a point where I can smack it with a hammer and chisel and break this part free, because I got to have this axle clean. The axle is keyed on one side, and what I mean is, if you can see that, it's keyed. One wheel will turn, whereas the other one, that one over there, will spin freely. So this one gets all the traction and that one doesn't. And as you can see on that end, I've been beating on that thing to get it apart. It's not going anywhere. It is stuck good. And you can see I've been soaking it for a week or so. So what I'm going to end up doing is having to destroy most of this to get a grinder in here and grind most of this out. And so I can replace these bushings and stuff like that. Here for too long I'll be contacting manufacturers of all the parts I'll be needing, and it's really not going to cost that much to restore this. There's 2 styles of wheel and tires out now. This one's called the dish style wheel, and they have one now that comes out a little bit straighter and across. It's called a step wheel. The dish one is period correct for restoration. The stepped one isn't. And I believe the stepped one is more economical, but you know, it's up to the individual. You can see 12 by 1.75 is the size of the tire there. The thing is, on most of these nuts and bolts right here, they would not come apart. I ended up taking a chisel, put it under the head of that, and smacked it enough to where it popped the head off. These are made of mild steel, and I'm thinking about going back with maybe stainless steel, but then again, that wouldn't be period correct on this thing. Yeah, you can see the rim right here, how it's got a key on the end of it. This is the one that turns and gets traction. This one doesn't have a key. That's why it will spin, but it's locked in place thanks to rust. On the ends of these wheels, they all had a cotter pin. Now, as you can see, there's 2 nubs still left on them. The best way to take these out is take a side splitters and cut them right there, and grab some vice grips on the top and clamp on, and then take a hammer and hit that to drive these out. These things were rusted in place and they broke. So what I'm going to end up doing is grinding that right there, and then just drill through that again. I'm going to have to do it on both sides. Most of this, you can see how this system fits in here. Two front wheels fit here. This has a top and a bottom stop that keeps it in place. And this rests against the top on the inside. And this piece will rest against it right up in there. This piece comes down and does the steering like that. Very simple, very durable design. All I'm going to do is clean this up, and I may put some rust proofing on it to make it last for a long time. As I can see, I'm going to restore this and give this to Mom for Christmas. I don't expect any kids to be using it, so my next phase is to get that thing apart one way or the other. I got to figure that out. I'll probably end up using a grinder on that. Taking this down the car wash and cleaning it, and then I'm going to use that stripper on it and put all that together. But this is video 3. As far as I know of it, nobody else has ever chronicled restoring one of these. I had to get out here before sundown, so while I still had light, and work on this thing. Work long hours for low pay. Imagine that as an American. But this is where I'm at. As far as like I said, as far as I can see, there's nobody out there on YouTube that's chronicled restoring one of these. There's problems you're going to run across, and that's why I'm kind of going over a lot of these. Yeah, it looks to be in horrible shape right now, but it's actually coming apart pretty good. Like I said, there's tons of replacement parts. This is a John Deere Model 20. I did that by seeing there was the Model D65. Yeah, D65. So it's a John Deere Model 20. Once I get it apart, then the next thing is finding out what you need to replace and going at it from there. But the wheels and tires, they do come assembled. I mean, you can get them cheaper unassembled. But I want to take the easy way out, have them already assembled and painted. I just got to figure out how to take these apart, and then I get to clean it, put it back together. So a lot of stuff is in good shape here. There's some little tedious stuff that I'm going to have to do, but this will be the third phase in this video. So if any of y'all want to do something like that, you can see this and it'll help you out. Anyhow, hang in there, and I'll get more videos up as soon as they come. But I got to hurry up because Christmas is coming up. Right now it's October. I got to get my butt in gear. Anyhow, over and out. See ya.